Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of Epic Collection Planet of the Apes Adventures. This is from Marvel. The book's just come out, the original Marvel years. Now, this is a very, very thin Epic Collection. You can see here, I've got the Defenders one. You can see it's a lot thinner. But this is volume 1, it does say there, and it's 1975 to 1976. Now, these were originally in a comic book, The Adventures on the Planet of the Apes, 1 to 11. I bought a few of those issues, but originally the stories were in Planet of the Apes magazine, black and white magazine. Also, of course, in the UK, we had them in our own Planet of the Apes magazine comic, and that was great. And you got here, Simian science fiction stable, sci-fi in the mighty Marvel manner. I think it's a great adaptation. I think it's really good. Now, there's apparently some changes to it from the original black and whites, and there's also some changes from the original black and whites to the actual film. I think it's very subtle changes, but I mean, generally follows the story. And let's just go through this. And now there's all the details of the various people: George Tusker and Alfredo Alcala and Doug Munch. I've never known how to say his name. And you can see the other people there as well, the inkers, colorists, etc., editors, and there's the covers. Now, unfortunately, in these books, they never say who did the covers. Now, it's got mentions here, front cover artist, but I assume that's for that. But who did the covers? Never says, unless the original artist, same artist, did the covers as well. I'm not very good when it comes to telling who did the artwork. Sometimes I think, oh, that looks a bit Gil Kane-like at times. Not this one, but some of the covers you think, However, this is the first issue, and let's go through it. Say that I'm quite certain did not happen in the original film. I haven't watched it for a little while, so I must watch it again. And of course, you got there, he's walking around there, checking it out. Unfortunately, for one that didn't get, I always felt really sorry for that character. That was it. She didn't last very long in the story. Really get hired for the role, and that's it. But there's three of them, they crash. Obviously, the ship has got a bit of a problem with the ship. They abandon it, go walking. At this point, of course, they haven't met the apes. And they've obviously plants his little American flag there. They obviously have a quick, good laugh there. But I don't want to spoil the story. I'm certain you probably watched the film, obviously, many times. And obviously, probably maybe read the originals when they came out. So you can see there, obviously, running through. The artwork looks fine, the quality looks great, all the way through, and you can see the storyline developing all the way through there. Now, this is, of course, the first film, the Planet of the Apes one, and then the next one was Beneath. Of course, ruins the middle of the film, but you got. No, I must admit, that doesn't really look exactly like it. That looks more like a Neptune character, doesn't it? More than the Statue of Liberty. But I guess, obviously, over time, and you got here and writer again is that same, but this time you got Alfredo Alcala, who I think is just a superb artist and should have done a lot more Marvel ones. Of course, the Savage Sword of Conan, all those ones, just brilliant. Love those. And story going all the way through, all the various military, obviously the gorillas, there's problems, obviously the orangutans there, and, well, again, don't want to spoil the story. So you can see their adventures on the Planet of the Apes, obviously ape armies versus mutant mental powers. That's where the story was going. It's one of those films that I just think is just brilliant. I just absolutely love this film. And I think it's told really well in this as well. When falls the lawgiver, but slightly, not exactly. However, that is the book. I think it's just brilliant, follows the story all the way through. And, of course, I'm not going to show you the end. And there you can see, obviously, one little bit here, Planet of the Apes Adventures, the original one, the omnibus, which is obviously the same there. It looks slightly different, but it is the same. Slightly, probably the colouring, obviously the paper, etc. But that's it. I would have thought they could have included a few bonus materials, but they didn't. Not a single bit, no scripts, no anything. Very strange. I truly think that's one of the weakest, probably, bonus sections I've ever seen. Maybe also I assume the omnibus was the same as well. Planet of the Apes Adventures, really great to see. Really hope that Marvel continue this series and bring out all the other volumes, of course, from the 70s that they had, the Escape, etc. And also would be nice, it won't happen, the Ape Slayer series. And also they did Kingdom of the Apes or something. There was another one. I vaguely remember. That would be nice to see as well. Of course, that was included in the black and white one. So hopefully everything will be in this format at some point. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Thoughts about this? Are you going to buy this book? Have you got any thoughts about the fact it's too thin? I mean, it's one of those things. You're not a fan of Planet of the Apes, or you are a fan of Planet of the Apes. Just want to get it because you need to have it in your collection. Have you got the archive ones, the Boom Studio ones? Because I think they were really good volumes. What I've seen, I have seen them, so I've certainly looked through them. They look great. It's just one of those things I didn't get. So this Epic Collection, Planet of the Apes Adventures, really, really enjoyable look, but sadly just a bit on the thin side there.